Hey guys, Jamie Alcage here, and today I'm here with my Premier League predictions. Here's my predictions. I have them all down on this phone, and I'm going to read them all out, say some reasons why I think that team will be in that position. 20th table bottom, I have Fulham. There isn't really like a proper reason why. I just have a feeling that Fulham will go down this year, and because when I have tried to make these videos in the past. I tried to make them last year, the year before, and the year before, but I didn't know how to do them, if you get me. I tried to do them the first time I made a YouTube channel. I tried to do like a mid-season one, and with the editing app that I had then, I only had 3 teams now, but every single time I done one with like friends and all, and Fulham was in the league, I always had Fulham to stay up because I always usually know Fulham as like that team that's always in and around relegation zone. Sometimes stays up, sometimes go down, but in the latest years they've just come up and went straight back down. Like, no hate to Fulham fans, but if that was my team, I'd be very frustrated too. I don't know if you are frustrated because I don't personally know any Fulham fans because there's not many in Ireland. But Fulham 20th. Nothing bad. Hope you do stay up because I do enjoy seeing you in the Premier League. 19th, West Brom. West Brom's kind of the same. They're a bit of a yo-yo club. They've been in the Prem for a while, but I don't know if it's because the app that I have hasn't updated yet, but I haven't really seen any signings that they've made so far. So if they don't make any signs, then they're going straight back down. 18th, I have Brighton. I think they might stay up, but there's a team above them that I think will. There's a team just above them that I think will just have that extra bit of energy to scrape a few more wins and stuff. But Brighton, they've been here for a few years now. They know what the Prem is like. Like, they're used to it, but they have been hanging on a bit. But at the end of the season, last year, they have been going strong. If Adam Lallana isn't injured, I think he'll be a good sign for them. I seen that they're going for another striker as well. I can't remember his name, but that'll be good for him and Mopé to be up against her if Mopé can continue the form that he's had since the restart. That's another thing that's hard about these predictions. The restart, no fans and stuff can really affect some teams. 17th, I have Leeds. They completely walked the league last year and like the championship obviously. But I know some people are like, oh, Leeds will go straight back down now. But I know it's not always good to look at past seasons, but look at the last 2 teams that have walked the championship. Wolves came 7th their first year. And then Sheffield, their first year back, I think they finished 9th this year. So it's a big up if they not rating them too highly because I think they still need a few more signings. But if they get those signings, I'd say they're staying up. 16th, Southampton. I actually like Southampton. I'm not sure Southampton fans will like me since I'm a Liverpool fan. We always take their players, but I always see Southampton as like they're that team that is just sort of there, but like they're enjoyable to watch, and I like the journey that they had. I think their journey will still stay in the league, but if they continue the form that they had at the end of the season this year, then I think they'll finish highest. But if they knock it down and be at the form that they were when they played Leicester and Leicester won them 9-0, then they're either going down or just scraping it. Aston Villa, I have 15th. Now this is all dependent if they keep Jack Grealish. If they keep him and sign a few more players, then they're safe. But if they lose him, I can see them going down, to be honest. Newcastle, I did want to put these higher, but because their takeover isn't happening, I have a feeling it might take a knock-on effect on them. They will still stay up because I have a feeling they will sign someone other than having Joe Linton at top. Hopefully they do. Like, I always sort of liked Newcastle because my uncle's a Newcastle fan, so like I also have had like that bit of love for them. But Newcastle, same with Aston Villa as well. My granddad used to support Aston Villa, so that's why I want Aston Villa to stay in the league as well. But yeah, Newcastle, I'm saying 14 for them. It's not a bad position with the way that they've been lately in the past few years, but let's move on to 13th. I have Crystal Palace. 13th, I have Crystal Palace. I think that Crystal Palace, I think, are a decent side, but they need a new striker because on the days, if they keep Zaha, on the days if he's injured, they have Benteke up top. He was a decent striker when he played for Aston Villa, but then when he moved to Liverpool, you can tell that bigger clubs, not that I'm saying that Crystal Palace is a bigger club than Aston Villa, but he has been like dropping in form dramatically over the years. Like I think during the restart he scored 1 goal and that was his first goal in the last year and a half. So yeah, I think they need a new striker and they still need to replace Wan-Bissaka. But if they manage to do that and keep Zaha, I'd say it's a 13th finish or higher for them. Burnley, just an average mid-table team now. I haven't really seen them linked with anybody, but I think I have seen that they might be losing Sean Dyche. Now, I haven't seen anything about it lately, but in the past few months since the season ended, apparently he was leaving. If he leaves, I can see them just scraping out of relegation or going down, because even Burnley fans can tell you that he is probably their best manager like in recent years. So in 11th I have West Ham. I know they finished near the bottom this year that just went, but I think I haven't really seen them sign anybody, but West Ham are a type of team where they it's hard to predict West Ham. They can do very well, but they can do very shit at the same time. They're just a hard team to predict. Everton, I think they'll obviously buy a few players because they have a lot of money, but the thing for me with Everton is they have a lot of money to spend, but they don't spend it in the right places. In the past few years they've been only buying attackers when they need to buy like certain things like centre mids. Well, they've bought a load of centre mids, but they need to buy like defenders. Pickford's okay, but he can put in a few mistakes, but I think they need a decent backup. So if they get all that, they can possibly finish in the top 7, to be honest. And same with having Ancelotti. His first full season, it might be a bit frightening of seeing everything. 9th, I went to Sheffield. I feel they won't really. I'd say they'll improve, but they won't improve. Like they'll stay sort of the same, but they won't have as big of a good season as they did last year. I'd say their form is going to carry on from the restart. I'd say their fans have really knocked them down from them not being there. As of now, I've seen that it's so far there isn't going to be fans until like November or something, and that would only be like a quarter of a stadium for fans as well. I've seen that there might be fans in the Community Shield, but then there was a rise in cases in the UK, so now that's not happening. So yeah, 8th I have Wolves. Yeah, I just thought I kind of like Wolves for like the journey they've had and stuff, but I'd say they're gonna just keep on focused on Europa League again next year. I might be wrong, but I think that's still a very good position for them, to be honest. Like when they first came to the league, I predict them to finish 20th, because like I didn't really watch them in the Championship. All I knew was Ruben Neves was good, Adama was good, all that, but I didn't think they'll do that well. So now that I know what they're like, I'd say they're going to be a consistent mid-table team slash Europa League side. So hopefully they can win the FA Cup and go into the Europa League by that, like what Arsenal done this year. 7th, I have Spurs. Yeah, they just lost Jan Vertonghen. Mourinho doesn't really seem to know what he's doing there anymore. Harry Kane seems to be dropping in form. The Spurs just all over the place at the moment. They lost Eriksen halfway through the season. They still need to replace him. So if Mourinho can pull it off and get them top 4, that would be sound. But I'd say it's Europa League for them next year. 6th, I have Arsenal. This, like, in terms of position wise, this a good position for how they were last year, but I think they're not getting Champions League. They do have William Saliba coming in. He seems decent, but I think they need new defender, another defender really, because Socrates is getting old. David Silva has just turned into I don't know what. But Willian, I think, is a good sign for them actually. Everyone always hates him, but I actually really like Willian. I always rate him. So we were linked to him before, and I wanted us to sign him, but we didn't. Arsenal got him. So wonder how he'll do on an Arsenal shirt. At the time recording, Coutinho's linked to it alone to them. So if they get Coutinho and they already have Willian, I think they will go higher in place because of Coutinho's attacking flair, and he knows what the Premier League's like as well. And then 5th, I have Leicester, same position as they were this year, but I don't know, just seeing them drop in form since January isn't really the best to go off. But if they can continue what their form was like to start the last year, they're in for a good season. But if they sign a few players, Vardy, he looks like he's getting too old now, but don't get me wrong, he is a world class striker, I think, but I'd say it's going to be like the way 2016 was. It's going to be that one-off year. He'll bang tons of goals and save them and all, but I think they need to. I'd say Rodgers needs to get a few more like defensive signings, if you get me, and like 1 or 2 attacking signings. Now the top 4, this one can be controversial. 4th, I have Man United. Towards the end of last year, they were doing really well. I don't really have an opinion on Fernandes. I think he's decent. We were linked with him last year as well. I do like him, but I can't really judge him off his United form yet. Yeah, he's been good, but every game I watch, I can't really see him. He's the only place I see him is in the penalty spot. But I think he can be a decent player for them. So I think purely because of his how good he is at the penalty spot, how calm he can be, and like I seen he picked up a few assists as well, so his passing seems to be well. So if they get the most out of him, and then probably sign a centre back and a left back probably, and sort out Pogba, they're going to be grand. 3rd, I have Man City, because I don't know, they looked very well during the end of the season, but they've signed Nathan Ake, decent player, but I don't think he'll win them the league type of thing. Like, he's been battling relegation with Bournemouth, and to be fair, the past few years relegation's been more tougher than the top 4, but I don't know. If they manage to keep all their players fit, then they might win the league come second. I don't know. This one, second, I have my team, Liverpool. This is a hard one, I think. I think we can finish any of the top 3, first, second or third. But because we've won the league this year, it's going to be very hard to defend it. And then you can see in the past few matches we struggle without fans. So purely because of no fans, I'd say we're not going to do as well. We're going to drop off. First, I have Chelsea to do it, because I think Chelsea will win, because they're just gone all ham on the transfer window. They've signed Ziyech in January, which he made his move in June. July. They signed Werner, and now they're after Havertz, and then they might be after some other players as well. But yeah, Chelsea just seem to be, they're going to be a very terrifying team to come up against next year, if they sort out the defence as well. Because I rate Kepa. Like, I think Kepa can be good on his day. It's just, he can just be very lazy, I think. But centre back wise, I'm pretty sure, other than Tomori, they're all aging, and they're either aging or non-experienced. So they need to get experienced but young players in, and then they're just gonna be unstoppable next year. But yeah, that's my Premier League. Let me see yours in the comments, and hope you like, subscribe, and peace.
Let me tell you something about my team. Liverpool were the best in the scene. If you don't know, we're trying to fight for the league. We're against Man City, so coming first is the dream. In the Prem, our defence is the best. 75 M's, man had to invest. Now Van Dijk makes the other team score less. With Trent and Robertson, I swear the man don't